Hi, I'm Chrissy,
And I'm Jess.
and this is
Financial Progress.
Welcome back to Financial Progress, the podcast where we break down complex financial topics into bite-sized pieces for everyone.
Mhm. That's right. So today we're talking about a topic that's crucial for financial security, insurance. We'll be covering different types of insurances and why you might need each one.
Yes, insurance can be confusing with all the different types out there, but it's essential for protecting yourself from financial risk. So let's start with one of the most important types of insurance, which is health insurance.
Yeah. Health insurance helps cover medical expenses such as doctor visits, hospital stays, and prescriptions. And without it, it can potentially lead to financial ruin. Even if you're healthy, unexpected accidents or illnesses can happen at any time.
Absolutely. It's super important to have health insurance. And, you just never know what could happen. Like Jess mentioned, you could be the healthiest person, and then, God forbid, you get into an accident and you need
Mhm.
last minute surgery or something like that. Like, having health insurance in place is just super important.
Yeah, and I know most of the time, if you're full time, that it can come from work, but I think there's places, I guess, for the city that you can apply for health benefits. Especially, I think there's like, isn't there like a health marketplace or something like that that people can apply to if they can't get it through, I guess, like DHS systems and things like that.
Yes, definitely. If health insurance is just something you can't afford at this time, definitely look into other resources that are offered by your city
Mhm.
or your state. Just look into anything that can help you cover the cost of health insurance because
Mhm.
some things can be subsidized for you, which is important. So look into that as well. We're not going to go into too many details about that with this episode. We're
Mhm.
just going to talk about the different types of insurance that you should have. If you don't have it, maybe look into other options, but we'll go into each one maybe a little later down the line in different episodes. But for
Mhm.
now, we just want to talk about the types of insurances that we feel are important. And I just want to say a little disclaimer. This is a real conversation between real friends. This is not financial advice. Please seek the help of an advisor for financial advice. And next we have car insurance, and this is required by law if you own a car. And it protects you financially if you're in an accident, covering damages to your vehicle or other people's property and medical expenses. So, and it also can cover theft and vandalism, which is something I wasn't aware of.
So next we have homeowners insurance or renters insurance. So if you own a home, it will be homeowners insurance. And if you're renting, it's important to get renters insurance. Homeowners insurance covers your house and belongings in case of damage or theft. And it also provides liability coverage if someone gets injured on your property.
Yes. And if you're renting, renter's insurance is equally important. It protects your personal belongings from theft, fire, and certain other aspects that may happen with your belongings. Plus, it provides liability coverage, just like homeowners insurance, which can be very helpful if someone gets hurt in your rental. So, let's say if you're renting a property and you have a fire, if you don't have renter's insurance, the apartment's insurance is not going to cover your belongings. So having renter's insurance is important to make sure that you get that stuff covered that belongs to you.
Mhm. Very important to have these insurances. Just recently, our roof came off from a strong winds, and our home insurance was able to cover majority of it. They just didn't cover like a very small portion, but for the majority, it was covered, and thank God for that. And then the rest comes from emergency fund.
So I just want to add, in the event of a natural disaster, also contacting FEMA might be helpful if you are uninsured or underinsured, and they may cover some costs. So that would be important to check.
Okay, that sounds good. And then next we have life insurance. This one is about protecting your loved ones financially if something happens to you. It provides a payout to your beneficiaries, which can be used to cover expenses like funeral costs, debts, and living
Yes, and
expenses.
life insurance can be especially important if you have dependents who rely on your income. I also want to just add that there's different types of life insurance. There's term life insurance and whole life insurance, and I just suggest talking to a financial advisor to see which one works best for you. I have both actually. I have term coverage that I made the decision to have that in my recent years, and then when I was really young, I have a small whole life policy that I decided to keep because it's only $23 a month and it's for my whole life, but it's just something I decided to keep in the recent years. So definitely I do think that like term policies are probably good for most people, but definitely talk to a financial advisor to see what's the best option for you.
Do you have one with work
I
as well?
do. Yes. So I do have those, but I consider those like supplemental policies. Like that's just extra on top of what I have for the
Yeah.
term. But yeah, I do have that at work as well.
Yeah. I mean, I have one at work as well, but it's a small one and it doesn't come with you if you leave your
Yes.
job. So that's why I don't also include it like
Yes.
in my total. They're like, oh, but it's there. But I also have a term life insurance. Mine is for 30 years. And yeah, I feel like I need another one, but yeah, that's another
Yeah,
podcast.
we did
So
talk about like maybe stacking policies, stacking term life policies, which is like if you have 10, 20, 30-year policy and then you want to add another policy for 10, 20, 30 years, what that would look like. So I
Mhm.
wanted to maybe add the difference that I need from what I currently have to what I need to have because there are certain recommendations out there that you should have, and I'm definitely below the
Mhm.
recommendation for my salary, my current salary. So that's something I want to look into, but that's something that we can discuss further in another episode.
Mhm. Definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely need to do that.
So let's move on to more modern concern, identity theft insurance. And this covers the cost of restoring your identity if it's stolen, including legal fees, lost wages, and other related expenses. And this is something that I also have through my employer, and I added my husband on to as well.
Your employer gave you identity theft
Yes, free of
insurance.
charge for
That
me.
is
Yes,
that
free
is
of charge for me.
rare.
And I had to add my husband on it. But yes, it's nice benefit.
Okay. Wow. I didn't even know that that's like an option through work. That's interesting. So I have identity theft insurance as well. I have it through Xander because I that's when I officially was like, oh, okay, I didn't realize I needed this because, we have like our monitoring stuff through credit cards and stuff like that. And I thought that was enough. And I realized that when I did get it, I guess it wasn't enough. I still don't know if it's enough, but I have it anyway. And it wasn't too expensive. So for my whole family, I pay $150 for the year. So I thought that wasn't too bad. So I was like,
Yes,
okay,
it's definitely
I'll get it.
affordable and definitely worth it.
hmm
Yes.
And it'll keep track on for everybody in the household. So that's good to know. So identity theft can be incredibly disruptive and expensive to resolve, especially on your own. So this type of insurance can provide that peace of mind, and the company itself would help you with anything that you need if anything happens. So it's really good. So let's talk about disability insurance. There are two main types. There's short-term disability and long-term
Yes,
disability.
and short term disability insurance provides income replacement if you're unable to work for a short period due to illness or injury. And it typically covers a few months up to a year. Sometimes you can get this through your employer as well, which is where I have it.
hmm
But it doesn't cover the full amount of your salary usually. Sometimes it can, depending on the policy, but that's something you definitely want to know
hmm
and keep in mind for a short term disability.
Also, too, I don't know if everybody has like these options, but I know that when we do our annual what is it called? Like when you have to like renew your benefits through your employer, they have like this is what's included. So like my short-term and long-term disability is included for free, but they'll offer like another company coming in and they will tell you, oh, okay, well, we'll cover up 65% of short-term disability, but you can purchase this insurance, and they'll kind of give you the difference if if you did need to use it because it's not 100%. So it's good to know your options when
Yeah,
you're looking
that's a
into
good
these
point
things.
because I
So,
haven't looked
mhm,
into exactly what my policy covers, so that's probably something I should do. I have some
mhm,
homework there, but
yeah.
I have some homework to do.
Yeah, so
Progress, yes.
progress.
I do have some homework.
Yeah, yeah. And it's pretty cool because they actually will bring in the company to come in and you can sit down and talk to them about it. I never officially did it because I always thought about like, oh, well, if I have 6 months of an emergency fund, maybe that will just cover the difference in case. So, like, yeah, definitely check options. So that was short-term disability. And then on the other hand, long-term disability insurance kicks in after the short-term benefits ends, and that can cover you for several years or even until retirement, depending on the policy. So this is crucial because the risk of becoming disabled at some point in your career is higher than
Yes,
what
and it's
most
something
people
that
think.
people don't tend to think about. So it's definitely important
Mm-mm.
to look at what types of insurances are out there to cover you in case of these unfortunate circumstances. So, to recap,
Mhm.
having the right types of insurance is essential for protecting yourself and your loved ones from financial hardship. Health insurance, car insurance, homeowners or renters insurance, life insurance, identity theft insurance, and both short term and long term disability insurance all play vital roles in a comprehensive financial plan to have security.
Mm-hmm. And always put it
Yes.
as a part of your budgets. So that is everything for today's episode. Thanks for joining us on Financial Progress. And if you have any questions or topics you want us to cover, feel free to reach out to us on our social
And
media
don't
on
forget to
Instagram.
subscribe to our podcast for more insights on managing your finances. So until next time, I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Jess. And we'll see you
Bye.
later. Bye bye.